thank you for joining us. You are, if you don't mind me saying, a MIPIM veteran. How do you
Definitely a veteran, yes.
How do you think this is shaping up compared to other years?
Well, it's very, very pleasant. The sun's shining. I think that the Brits here are absolutely determined to be positive. I think they had enough of sort of mooching around saying, oh, it's all terrible last year. And I actually do sense an air of optimism. Interesting question as to whether that is true or misplaced. You know, are we really seeing the sort of recovery we want? But for the moment, we're all trading on it being good.
Okay, easy to be optimistic in the sunshine as well.
Absolutely. I wouldn't want people in London to think that it's all sort of pleasure, unmitigated pleasure here. It is. There's a lot of serious talking going on. I think there's a lot of good conference debates. There's a lot of sort of not necessarily negotiations, but sort of building bridges, looking at where the future business is going to come from. Yeah, MIPIM, I know people will laugh, is quite hard work.
And on the subject of work, the BPF is launching their manifesto this morning. What will you be calling for?
Well, I suppose I wouldn't actually call it a manifesto because everybody's got manifestos these days, including the main political parties shortly. But what we think are that there are 5 really big issues that the BPF needs to address together with the politicians. And we've actually put these to the politicians and said, look, we want to engage with you, whichever party, because we are apolitical, we need to work with anybody who's in government. And basically the 5 issues for the industry are, we've all got to work together to reduce debt. We've got to work together to deal with climate change. We've got to do something about kick-starting regeneration. We've got to get building and development going again where it's really needed. We've got to deal with occupiers. We've actually got to build a good relationship with the occupier community. We've got to get away from confrontation. There are too many sort of big problems that need to be resolved. And the final one, which is dear to the politicians' heart, and it is true, we've got to help solve the housing crisis. We, the commercial property industry, won't do all of that, but we can make a big contribution through building properties to rent, improving the private rented sector, increasing institutional investment. So that's our 5-point plan. It sounds a bit Soviet, doesn't it? But these are the areas where we want to persuade the politicians to talk to us because we think we've got something to offer them. And we think that all 5 areas are hugely important for the UK economy and for UK society.
Liz Peace, thank you very much.
My pleasure.